We just caught China running rocket fuel to Iran, red-handed. The cargo ship the U.S. Navy blew the engine out of on Sunday, the Touska, it came from a Chinese port that specifically loads missile fuel. Then it went dark for 60 hours, laundered through Malaysia, and ran straight out of U.S. blockade. That is not a cargo ship. That is a missile resupply mission. Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from. Today is April 21st, day 7 of the Hormuz blockade. J.D. Vance is en route to Islamabad. There are signs on and off that Iran, their IRGC, their representatives are going to meet with him. 1 minute they say they are, 1 minute they say they're not. But this changed the entire game. I'm going to walk you through an intel trail that is so damning that by the end of this video, you're going to understand why every missile that Iran has ever fired at an American sailor has Beijing's fingerprints on it. We're talking sodium perchlorate, 60-hour AIS blackouts, and one stat from European intelligence that made me spit my coffee out this morning. Plus, what the White House does next. This is no longer Iran versus America. This is a three-way story, and China just got exposed. Like and subscribe, costs you nothing. Huge boost to the channel. Hit the bell, all notifications on. You won't miss a thing. Follow me down below. You can see that at Navy Vet on X. Drop a comment below. Does Trump go public with the cargo manifest or hold it for leverage? Let me know. I read all the comments. So let's get into this. So the president kind of dropped some breadcrumbs. Trump made a comment on the captured dual-use military components that were found on board an Iranian cargo ship. And we're starting to understand why this ship was trying to get out of the Strait of Hormuz and trying to flee, trying to get away because they had this cargo on board. Trump's quoted saying, "We caught a ship yesterday that had some things on it which wasn't very nice. A gift from China, perhaps. I don't know." Now, when the president comes out and says something like this, it's going to make you're going to have to scratch your head because this is not good. This is not what we want to be dealing with from the Chinese. We know that they are not our ally. We know that they are stealing technology from the United States on a daily basis. This is nothing more than another way for them to enable our enemies, but it gets worse. And we've got more information here. China's arms channel to Iran caught red-handed. Security forces tell Reuters the Iranian cargo ship, the MV Touska, seized by Marines in the Arabian Sea, was carrying Chinese dual-use military components. That should scare the hell out of everyone. More importantly, how much of this components has already made it in under the cover of darkness that we don't know about. Goes on further. This is despite China's repeated assurances to the United States that is not supplying weapons to Iran. Now, this is the clip here, and I'll play this again for you to see exactly how this went down, because I think it's very important for those of you that have not seen this to see how capable the United States Navy is, see how capable our military is. And if we would have not interdicted, if we would have not intercepted this ship, we would never know what's occurring.
Motor vessel Touska, vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Okay, we gave the player.
So you saw there, they warned them, get out of the engine room. We're going to disable you. I believe, this is just my opinion, I'd love to get yours down below. We knew what was on that ship. We knew that we wanted to disable it and board it. We did not want to sink it. We were aware of the manifest of the contents on that ship. We knew what China was up to, and we just needed evidence. We needed confirmation. Now, we know our NATO allies do not care. They don't care. They want us to continue to pay into their system, and that's all that they're interested in is American tax dollars defending them. With all the volatility in the market, you need to think about gold. And when the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. And you can see right now gold is a little under $4,800 an ounce. I want you to fast forward today. US dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Gold, on the other hand, has increased in value by over 12,000%. That's why central banks are buying gold at record levels. That's why major firms, and some of them you don't want to talk about, like Vanguard and BlackRock, hold significant positions in gold. And that's why I encourage you to consider diversifying your savings with physical gold just like this. Also, silver and platinum, any precious metals that you're interested in investing in for you and your family, they sell it. This all starts with education. Birch Gold has just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This is a free online event. It rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase. Get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you earn. But you must act now, as this special event only runs through April 30th. The dollar lost its anchor in 71. You don't have to lose yours. Text my name, Dykes, to the number 989-898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event, April 30th. Text my last name, Dykes, to 989-898 today, and I'll see you in the training. But could this be the supplier that we all knew? And now we've got the fingerprints, the Chinese fingerprints on this. The president is supposed to make a trip to China later in the year. I think with this information, with this evidence, with these materials that are on board, we know that all roads lead to China. And Iran has been a proxy that has been funded by the Chinese. We know now that all of this fentanyl and these other problems that we have here in the United States have been coming in from China. This gives the president leverage, the leverage that he needs. And I am a firm believer. Do not trust the Chinese. Do not trust the Iranians. And it's even scarier now that we know that these people are actively working against us. They are actively working against us to circumvent anything that we want to accomplish in the Middle East. Experts believe the Iranian cargo on the Touska, which made frequent trips to China, was carrying special cargo, which is why it was attempting to avoid the blockade. Marines reportedly searched over 5,000 containers on board. That tells me we knew there was something on there. Our intelligence agencies are some of the best in the world, and we knew it was on there. Now, we've got more information coming out this morning. The Department of War, United States forces have conducted another right of visit. This is another VBSS mission on another maritime ship. This is the Tiffany. This happened without incident. And I'm going to play this clip here for you as well, because now you're going to see how capable our United States military is and what we need to have done here. Now, you saw there the Marines getting onto the helicopter. They're getting transferred over to this ship. They're going to inspect everything. Typically, this was done by special forces, but there's just too many ships that need to be inspected. And you see right here why, because of this evidence that China had materials on there, why this is so important. Because we need to make sure, we need to ensure that these ships coming in and around and operating in that region do not have materials that could harm any Americans coming in the United States or more importantly, our boots on the ground that are there right now. I don't know how China denies this. I don't know how they get away from it, or if they will come out and actually admit this. But we've got more articles coming in now this morning. This is another article coming out of the Times now, all on Iran cargo ship seized by the U.S. in the Gulf of Oman. I think that this is going to raise the level of security in that area. Now that we have direct evidence about this, the Iranians are going to continue to come out with information like this, saying they're prepared to reveal new cards on the battlefield as Trump threatens to drop lots of bombs if there's no deal. Wednesday night, the deadline expires, and this deadline has probably never reached a tipping point like this. The Iranian government, whoever's in charge, whichever cardboard cutout that is actually in charge right now, needs to come to the table. The president has even said that he is willing to travel to meet the Iranian officials. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. Leave a comment down below. Do you think the president should meet with these people? There's more information coming out now from Sal over there on the shipping channel. At least 26 Iranian shadow fleet vessels. These are ships that are operating without good faith. They are not operating in good faith, and they are running under different flags, different components. At least 26 Iranian shadow fleet vessels have bypassed the blockade. Now, I think that number is going to shrink really quickly. I think the United States military is going to ramp up the level of security, the need for security in that area, because when we start finding things like that on these ships, and you can see here, this is live marine traffic in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. There is the flow of ships there. The traffic is moving. The Iranians, 1 minute they open the strait, the next minute they don't. The United States military has the blockade set up further out in the Gulf of Oman so that, yeah, you might make it through the strait, but you're not getting into open seas. You're not getting into international waters without us finding out what you have on board. And more importantly, finding out where that stuff is going. We've got a tactical map here. This is the Operation Rising Lion. This is updated just a couple of hours ago. And you can see all of the facilities that the Iranians have. And these could very well become targets quickly, very soon, depending on what happens with these meetings with J.D. Vance and the IRGC. Trump says he's highly unlikely to extend the ceasefire if no deal is reached. And you're going to see more of these F-18s, these Super Hornets. You're going to see more B-2s. You're going to see more aircraft in the skies there. And Trump is threatening to take out all of their capabilities, bridges, everything around it. You're going to see this happen. Have we reached a tipping point where this is what we have to do to send the message to the Iranians? That's up to you to decide. I believe what we need to do is, number one, secure the uranium that is still there, buried after operations that were, targeting those facilities. The Iranians need to come to the table. At some point, the Iranian people need to take ownership of their own country. Hopefully, this allows them to do that. All right, guys, I'm Ben Dykes, 20 years in the United States submarines. Thank you for watching. Smash the like and subscribe button. Drop your questions and comments down below. Share this with someone who needs the real breakdown, not the spin. And I'll see you in the next one when we stand by to see what this ceasefire brings.